You like making the rounds around here, catching up with some old guys?
It's like a reunion for me, right? I mean, I've seen so many of my former teammates from the Broncos here today, and guys I played against, coaches I played with and against, and so yeah, it's fun. I mean, how many times a year do you get to see some old familiar faces and some good friends? So it's fun for me.
Steve Atwater, man, finalist for the Hall of Fame. What do you think of his chances this year?
I think he should be in, period. There's no doubt. I mean, I don't know if it was this year, next year, whenever, but I played against him when I was in New York, and he was one of the most intimidating safeties I ever played against, and then I was blessed to play with him. We won a couple of Super Bowls, and I got to see up close and personal not just what a great football player he is and was, but what a great human being. And so, look, they called him the quiet assassin because he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk a lot of smack. He's such a pro's pro. He plays the game. He played the game the way it was supposed to be played. And, I know it's a stat-driven league in terms of interceptions, which really gets defensive backs into the Hall of Fame. But he had influence over the game. Offensive coordinators had to game plan around where he would be on the field, and he was almost impossible to block in the run game. We saw some of the powerful hits he's had throughout his career, and he could just take receivers out going over the middle, something I was very concerned with when I was playing with the Giants. And so for me, he's a shoo-in Hall of Famer. It's not even a question.
Mr. B, also a finalist this year. What do you think? What was it like playing for Mr. B, and why do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, Mr. B was a friend to me, and he was there during the Super Bowl runs, and he was there for me personally when I broke my leg, and we used to work out and ride the bike together, and we'd talk about life and football and, Ironman competitions and Hawaii and just whatever the current events were of the day. And what I loved about him, I mean, what he did for the Broncos in the NFL is historic. That gets him in the Hall of Fame. But what makes him special to me is the way he cares about the team and the players and the owners and especially the fans. Every decision he made was to help bring a Super Bowl championship to Denver, and he did it, right? And I don't care what anybody says, it starts with the owner. The owner has to be willing to be committed to bring a Super Bowl championship to their city and to their team, and he was willing to do that, from hiring coaches to players to firing coaches and getting rid of players. All the hard decisions that had to be made, he did for the Broncos and the fans. And it wasn't easy, but he was committed to it. He never put himself first. He always put the fans and the organization first. And he really did care for everybody that walked into the building. And so that's why he means a lot to me.
You used to ride the bike then when you were rehabbing right next to him, huh?
Yeah, and he was a heck of a bike rider too. We used to race. He was in incredible shape. He would push the envelope a little bit. He was competitive as well. He'd try to beat me every time. But yeah, you just, when you get to kind of sit back and relax and do other things away from actual game day, you realize what kind of person he is and how much he really does care, how much he truly cares about everybody that has anything to do with the Denver Broncos. And again, especially the fans. He wanted he said this one's for John. How many owners say that after a Super Bowl? They give one guy credit. I mean, he cared so much about John and that he won a Super Bowl, and he respected him as a player and a person, that he wanted that so badly for him that that was the first thing he thought to say after winning his Super Bowl. That tells you a lot.
I know you still cover the team very closely, or I guess you watch what's going on with them. What do you think about where the team is right now? Obviously, new head coach and everything.
Yeah, they're in transition. And I think, John's done a great job of bringing in talented players, and he's got to make tough decisions with coaches. Those are tough decisions, but he's got to do the best job he can to put a good product on the field. And he wants to win another Super Bowl championship. We know that about John. All he cares about is winning Super Bowls, and sometimes that means making really tough decisions. So they have talented players on that team. I think he's done a great job with the coaching hires, and they need to add to it through free agency and the draft. But they have, a core group of players that I think can allow them to have a lot of success next season. They got to stay healthy. They got to get better from this year to next year, and they got to add some pieces to the puzzle.
And finally, I know you're here with Ticketmaster. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here?
Well, yeah, I'm promoting Ticketmaster mainly because I'm a client of Ticketmaster. Lisa and I go to games, and if you know anything about Ticketmaster, the NFL Ticket Exchange, the NFL Ticket Exchange is powered by Ticketmaster. They're the #1 leader in tickets worldwide, and they're the only ticketing platform that can guarantee you're going to get your ticket and your seat. And so we have 2 kids in the NFL now. In Carolina and San Francisco, and we go to the away games, but I've been to away games, you get to travel with the team and everything, you're spoiled, but normally the tickets are not very good. You're sitting in the nosebleeds and you're with rowdy fans from the other team, so we purchased tickets through Ticketmaster to go to these away games, and but before we did that, you're nervous that you're going to show up and wait in line and not get your ticket or not get the seat that you purchased, and it's important to us to get our ticket in the seat that we paid for, and we don't want to sit in the nosebleeds with last year those crazy New Orleans fans that we had to do once. We learned our lesson the first time, and then we went to Ticketmaster, because you don't have to worry about the security of your ticket. You're going to get the ticket that you purchased, and so that's why we use them. But they've been incredible, and they've done a lot of stuff lately to reach out and find out about fans and why fans watch games, and they're very engaged with the fans and want to provide them with a great service and a great product. So they're on the forefront of that, and again, that's why I think the NFL partnered with them.
All right, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.